that's being rented out. So, going back to our original point, the issues of housing, whether it be here in Flint or elsewhere, need to be better understood, especially by the African American community. All right, I guess we're going to kick off a new show or save a show for next week, but we were practicing there. Sorry about that. My main point, though, if you want to take anything from this, African Americans, no matter whether they live in Flint, Detroit, or anywhere else, need to be cognizant, need to be aware of what the American dream really means. If you want to own a home, make sure that you're not overbuying that home. Number one, you get people that want, "Oh, I need to have a pool and 18 bedrooms, and I want to buy my mama this." But then when it comes time for the job to be over, for the contract to be over, mama can't pay the taxes on that house. If you buy a $100,000 house, it would be better if we bought houses that we really could afford in communities we want to be in, that want us to be there, etc., and we don't overbuy like we sometimes do and wind up getting foreclosed on and losing housing. We also need to become more educated as far as what it means to own real estate, what it means to pay taxes, what is escrow, what is insurance. If you want to have a mortgage, they're going to mandate that you pay insurance. Just like you have to pay insurance on your car, in order to have a mortgage, you have to have insurance because the mortgage company is not going to take a loss. So there are some vital things to know when capturing that American dream. There's some vital things to know about the unfairness, the history of redlining, the history of block breaking. And what block breaking was, they'll send somebody, African American, into a white neighborhood, have him move in. All of a sudden, the property values decrease. Everybody wants to sell. And all of a sudden, that real estate agent made a lot of money. But here's a dirty double trick on that. Sometimes they'll have doctors and lawyers move into a community that are African American, and then they'll have some young thugs move into the community, and then you have people wanting to sell again. It's important and vital that at some point in time we take responsibility if we want to own a part of America, if we want to own a piece of this land that we helped build. And you can't always say, "Well, my mama didn't tell me I had to pay the taxes, or my mama didn't tell me they could put a lien on my house for the water bill." They are steadily gentrifying the city of Detroit. They're about to start gentrifying the city of Flint. It's happening all over. It's not just here though. Is the point? So it's kind of scary, but we're making it easy for them to take the land. I've literally seen situations where people someone passes away, might be big mama, might be granddad, might be uncle, and people will just let the house go to the county because I ain't paying that $2,000 bill for them taxes.
Well, that creates another conversation that we need to have once we have this one again too, and add it on for next time, which is life insurance. People have to get life insurance in order to keep everybody from losing everything.
We would have to have that conversation because I have a funny thought about things like interest and insurance. Who's really getting paid? We used to have our own insurance companies. Guess what happened to them?
I get what you're saying.
We used to have our own banks.
But guess what? GoFundMe and everybody that do have a little savings, that ain't the way to save everybody's house and life and bury folk and all that. We got to have life insurance because it makes no sense to me.
Even when we
hold up.
Okay.
It makes no sense to me that we have to pass the pot around 80% of the time that somebody is buried, or 90% of the time that somebody's home needs to be saved, and we can't get to the point to where we create some kind of pot to where we pay for insurance. We help each other pay insurance in order to be able to pay on and off these things at end of life or during a problem.
I'm going to give you an example. Malcolm X's father was killed. He was beaten by a mob and laid across some tracks. The mama goes to get the insurance money because he had insurance. And guess what they said? It was suicide. Now, just like insurance, just like my insurance company sat there and said, we're revoking your insurance because you don't have a garage door, and I did have a garage door. It's just that my garage door was up all the time because I was in there hanging out inside my man cave.
And I get what you're saying, but
there's corruption and there's payouts that happen better for other people than for us. I'm not saying that I totally agree with segregation, but when we had our own banks and we had our own insurance companies, there were some things that were better for us.
So Brown, this is what I'm saying. We don't have that right now. And what you're speaking on, that was during a different thought process in time. So not saying that things have changed so much that it's not overt or where it's hidden. But we have the ability to monitor when people are lying more so than what we did then. All we had back then was taking the word of who the insurance man was or taking the word of the lawyer. My great grandfather owned almost a whole county, and because he was not literate, even though he did a deed to deed the land to his children's children, he did it over 100 times so that we would always have land. The lawyers stole the land from him.
Let me ask you a question.
But I'm saying,
insurance. Who pays most for insurance? Somebody that lives inside the city of Detroit, the city of Flint, or somebody that lives inside a suburb or a rural area?
I would assume suburb or rural area.
They pay more?
You're talking about the premium?
We're talking about how much you got to pay for your insurance. If you got auto insurance,
the premium, we're paying more on the premium, the car insurance and house insurance. With the dog near, nobody can afford the house insurance here because of what the government did to the water.
Exactly.
And then the insurance company wouldn't insure the houses because of the water. So I'm saying
I can't insure my property because the city gives the public permission to come on my property. So
because what?
My property, if you look it up on the property portal, says public access. I've never seen that before or since, but people have the right to come onto my property. Technically, I'm wrong for putting up a no trespassing sign. But since my property says that, insurance companies are not going to cover me. Like, you got a public institution there. We're not going to cover general public just trafficking back and forth across your property. That opens us up to a lot of, they're not going to cover that. So, how do you fix that? And I've tried.
You put it in a trust. And you insure that trust.
You're going to have to break that down a little bit better for me on a different date because we've kind of pressed for time right here.
Yeah, we're right at the edge of time. We're right at the edge of time. Can we
hit pause right now?
So, let's end it. You got to properly end it.
Well, let's call it end to the show right now. And what I'm going to say here is that we need to become all better educated, including myself, about what home ownership means, what rights and duties come with that, and how to maintain ownership of property. God is not making any more land, so you need to grab what's out there and hold on to it. You need to have an understanding of what family wealth is, how to keep a family in the house, or if somebody hits hard times, they have a spot to go to. Or people can share it, or auntie can go here when she gets older, or whatever. We are so much into being renters that we've forgotten what it is to own, or maybe never had the concept. But I want to thank Mr. Grundy here for sharing his story. Well, and we'll do a better job of getting the buttons pushed next time.
Yeah. Let's thank Anthony Echoes, too. I'm going to just read off the different comments. He said, right, it's everywhere. We need to have, like in Alabama, after you turn 65, you don't have to pay property taxes. Was killed in Lansing, Michigan. You pay more in the city. I paid $110 a month for homeowners from the city of Flint. Thank you for interacting, Anthony.
Well, thank you, everyone. And until the next time, this is ChessFrog OmniVersity, where we're trying to dispense some knowledge or put some questions out there that you need to answer for yourself.
When is your show?
Be your own hero. And we are trying to settle on the time for the show. Right now, we're hitting at 4:30.
Mondays at 4:30. Say it like you on TV.
Mondays at 4:30. Same bat time, same bat channel.